Yo, hello. I've noticed a lot of people like this randoms online. We've had a lot of struggles with teraraids, so I thought I would go ahead and put together a little my thoughts on how to like approach teraraids, some resources that you can use, some like helpful areas where you can actually find teraraids as well with a big group of people. 'Cause I think the easiest way to go about teraraids is ultimately when you're with friends and all that. We'll have a little discussion about like a Discord server and some groups that you can go to actually get a lot of teraraids that are very active and actively like pursuing different strats as well. And we'll also discuss some simple strategies that you can do right now to help you just win teraraids and help your teammates and get through all these 6-star and future 7-star raids like Charizard coming up in about a week now. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So I've compiled a few Pokemon that I think are like pretty notable in what they can do. First of all, we have like the Belly Drum users with like Azumarill, the standard Iron Hands, Belly Drum, Drain Punch, and you just go like 252, 252, Adamant. This is the pure power setup Pokemon that can like, you just need one Belly Drum, you need this one setup, and then you'll just be able to completely burst through all of your opponent's options. And this is why Iron Hands is so good. And you can run Sister Berry to make you live. You can run like a Life Orb. You can run like a lot of damage items as well to just help you. Or even this the Punching Glove, you know? Like also this how important damage items are as well to just make sure you can get that like final push to actually finish the job. And you can even run like choice with a lot of these as well. You can run like Choice Band and just end up cheering a bit and then go for the push. But yeah, the basic strat of Iron Hands, you just Belly Drum turn 1, stay alive, and then you pound them with a Drain Punch, you pound them with a Thunder Punch, or whatever coverage you may need. And you'll win most raids like this, like fairly easily as well. And then there's Azumarill, which is basically the Fairy type alternative, which is really this the Charizard killer. Because the Charizard raid is going to be a Dragon type raid, we can actually just go Fairy, and we'll just one-shot it with like Belly Drum plus Play Rough plus huge power. And you even boost it more if you want with Life Orb. And this is probably most certainly going to be the best strat to actually just destroy Charizard. And if you partner it with like Screech users like, let's say, Koraidon, or this like a Fairy type Screech user. There's a good one, there isn't. Screech, Water type, actually, let's go Water type. Yeah, let's partner with a Golduck and just have it Screech for the Azumarill. And then the Play Rough will be able to kill the Charizard. I think one of the key moves that has to be talked about a lot with these raids is Screech is more valuable than like almost any kind of setup except for Belly Drum, because Belly Drum is specifically like +6. Because Screech is essentially a Swords Dance for your whole team, so any Pokemon that can just more like Screech and the Screech for you to just set up your team's physical attacker to actually get a sweep done. And one of your teammates can also set up Swords Dance as well, or set up Belly Drum, and then go after the Screech, you can just confirm the KO for them. And that's like one of the more effective ways to make that work out. And I have Ursaring here listed as well. Is this like an alternative to the Iron Hand strat? But of course you do lack the Drain Punch, but you get the benefit of like Facade. And if you're against a raid battle that tries to burn you, you have Guts, and you can just Belly Drum as well. You can Facade, you have the Eviolite Bulk, and you're just able to get an easy KO on them. It also has like some other powerful moves as well. You have like CC, you have Avalanche. You just have a lot of decent enough moves that can make Ursaring a potentially viable Pokemon. And mainly this the Guts ability. The Guts ability just to help you, this the 1.5 times. You can also run Flame Orb, but the problem with Flame Orb is that you risk this dying after your Belly Drum, and that's not good. You will need a bit of assistance if you end up running like Flame Orb and Belly Drum, because you will need like one of your partners to spam the healing or spam like defense, so you can guarantee that your Ursaring will actually survive the turn and get the Facade off. But overall, Ursaring is a very powerful option to just actually get through some raids as well. It isn't quite as strong as Iron Hands, but it is a decent enough alternative to Iron Hands thanks to its typing and in like different move pool. And that's mainly the access to Guts. And also, since if you have Scarlet, it will be easier to get this than Iron Hands for sure. For sure. And especially when Ursa Luna comes out, that will be even better than Iron Hands for that matter. because you'll have Stab Facade, you'll have Earthquake as well. Ursaluna will be a threat in that sense. And then for this, we'll talk about our legendaries. And the legendaries are really the concept of Screets and Swords Dance for this one. Because, like, you have a bunch of Crydons spam Screech first, and you just have one quick Swords Dance, and then you just go for the collision course, and then you can just end most raids. You can also go Dragonclaw or this, like, Outrage. Outrage is actually fine in raids, but you pretty much want to make sure that you're doing this when you're going to be actually able to KO. Because if you're going into a long raid, then it's not as worth it to have Outrage, but since generally the strats you want to be going for anyways involve this getting a clean KO, Outrage is a fine option. You can also go like Flare Blitz, but Flare Blitz is the same thing, because like you have to confirm that you can get the KO if you're going to use Flare Blitz, or you will just die to the recoil. So I would definitely take some restraint before going for a Flare Blitz and making sure that you know you can get the KO when you do it as well. And item-wise, you can go Life Orb. You could go Choice Band if you only plan on clicking like Collision Course and just having someone cheer for you, which is also a method, and then just do as much damage as possible. The items are just really important to make sure you take advantage of. And also there's especially certain raids, like let's say a Moongus, where you can go like Safety Goggles as well and this tech for it like that and make these raids more tolerable. But in general, this with like the smallest amount of research, you're just going to be able to actually get through most of the raids and just seeing the move pools. Yeah, this one's Miraidon, and Miraidon has a similar concept to Crydon. Yet again, you could set up your Crydon yourself, but generally it's like more useful to just go for a Metal Sound, because you're helping your whole team. And that's really a key with a lot of these Pokemon. As long as you're helping your whole team, it's going to be highly valuable. And Miraidon as well also has the use of this giving you electric terrain for your Iron Hands and preventing your Pokemon to going to sleep. Though, unfortunately, most of the raids end up having grassy terrain if they do have Spore. So it is a bit unfortunate in that sense, but you still can have Taunt to prevent some of the cheese as well. And you still just have Electro Drift, which is a ridiculously strong move in its own. And now this is where we get into like the more funny stuff. The classic, the absolute menace Berserker. And Berserker, you just spam Screech, you spam Swords Dance, you have the Steely Spirit, you can just have a Lumberry, Sash, whatever helps you get through the turns and get through a big, powerful Steely Bonk out. You can also have Helping Hand. Helping Hand does in fact stack in this, so you can get as much use of this as possible. And for some potential Berserker strats, as you can see here versus most common raids, just have Taunt, turn 2 Screech, this Taunt, Screech, Screech, Swords Dance, Screech, Cheer Attack, and you just go for the Hammer and the Big Bonk with the Tinkaton. Because Tinkaton, of course, having Gigaton Hammer is a ridiculously powerful move, but it only works once, so you have to make sure that you get that Oko with it. And then there's the alternatives here as well. And this is part of why the Discord is like so important, and I'll link it as well for you guys at the end of the video, because like the Discord is just like having this kind of flowchart and having a group of people that you can just work through this stuff with and guarantee that you're all doing the right plays makes this whole system like very effective, and Berserker bonking very, very strong. And here's another system with like this 4 Berserkers. You just go Iron Head, Screech, Swords Dance, Taunt, Helping Hand, Taunt, and then 1 Taunts to prevent the cheese, and then the Screechers, and the Swords Dance, and the Cheers, and then this Iron Head. And you also have the flow chart where you just Helping Hand instead, because the Helping Hand stacks on the 1. You just get the Iron Head as well. And as long as someone specifies like the flow chart for the Berserker strat, then it's absolutely broken. Though of course, like, you do have to notice that you have to have a group of people that you can do this strategy with in order for it to be most effective. And then like the final little strat is just for a little bit of advice for like specific ones, like Flying Guard Chomp, and you just have like Air Balloon on your Berserker to make sure your Berserker won't just get KO'd by Earthquake, and then you can like just deal with it through Electric, Taunt, Screech, Screech. There's a lot of strats like that, and that's why the Discord is like so important. And why it's like this is such a valuable resource to just use as much as you can. And you see with the fire one, you have Sash, so you can actually live the Armor Rouge and get through it that way. But yep. And that's some of those high quality strats as well. And now we'll just advertise the Discord a little bit. Because I think this is the best way to advertise it, is to show you how many like people are is in it right now. So you can disable that. Let me see, let me see. And yeah, this is the general idea for raids, and if you follow those like flowcharts, you'll be able to get through them pretty easily, I believe. There we go, that's the Discord. As you can see, like, it's very active. Very, very active. There's 6 stars everywhere, there's so many events. This is actually ridiculous. You can see it's 6:07, it's literally on the minute. And I'll tell you, that raid is most certainly already full. They go really fast in here. They're very helpful people. They have like strats discussed. They have the little levels charted out as well. I mean, you can get any Pokemon from these raids. You can get these EV raids. You can get Sizzlers. You get the Berserker strats as well. And speaking of the Berserker strat, they have like special sections for people who want to do like the Berserker only runs, do the strats with the charts as well. And they are actually the people who made the charts, and you can get more charts like that from here. So like, big credit to them. They are insanely helpful, and this a very valuable resource to use, to say the least. And yeah, it's the little Discord. Okay, I think that's like the general idea of this. Wanted to have like at least worked through. Let's tell you guys that Discord is very, very useful. Very, very useful. You can join the little link here too. It's right there. It's right there. Whoa. I'll also put it in the description too. Because like this Discord, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's actually a lifesaver for me. And it's the main way I've actually been able to get through a lot of teraraids, get a lot of Pokemon that I've wanted as well. Like I was able to get a water type of Moongus thanks to them as well. And I was able to get like some decent grass type like the Donzo I wanted, and get through like the salty Herbamysticas and all those like stuff for shiny hunting. And that Discord was really the savior for me. I do imagine they can help you a lot too, and like help you get better at raids. And when Charizard comes around, you'll have a big group of people that you can actually just work through and just completely destroy the Charizard raids with our good pal like Azumarill, and get through it that way as well. And that should be like most definitely, certainly really helpful. Yeah, back onto the other strats though. Golden Eggo, the same stuff. You this nasty plot, and you also have Metal Sound and Make It Rain, big damage. You have Chien Pao, where you actually take advantage of like Sword of Ruin, Swordsdance Taunt, and you have the little dark move. Let me see the dark move. You just go for like Throat Chop. Throat Chop as well helps for stop sound moves too, which is pretty cute sometimes. And then you have Chi Yu, where it's Bead of Ruins. Like these beads abilities and Sword of Ruin ability are actually pretty helpful in their own right as well, as they can just help you just get this damage reduction and do this more damage. They unfortunately do not stack, but these Pokemon are like ridiculously powerful, so just having like one of these, you do have to be careful about like the weaknesses they have, but like if you have one of these in the right raid, they can absolutely take over with like Nasty Plot. They can take over with Swords Dance as well. These are some of the strongest Pokemon, if not the Belly Drum users that you could possibly use. And they also make the Belly Drum users stronger. Like if you have Chien Pao as a partner next to an Iron Hands, you're definitely KOing like any raid you get into very easily. And that's really the key to the raids, just having the right kind of concept you can go on. Iron Hands, of course, is something that you can arguably the solo most raids with on your own, but a lot of these strats do always benefit. Even Iron Hands benefits from this having like a strong Screech user next to it, where you can just partner it and actually just get a KO out pretty easily. And yeah, that's all the Pokemon I wanted to talk about. I almost forgot to talk about the last couple Pokemon. I will say Azumarill will be the Charizard killer. That is my guarantee, 100% bet. on who I think will be most effective, and we will do a video on when the Charizard raid comes out to actually like show off the strats for that as well. And yeah, that will be all for this video. If you like this kind of content, tell me. I don't normally make Terra raid content. I normally make like VGC stuff, and I will continue to be making VGC stuff as well. But I think 7-star raids, when they happen, are like the one thing that I will actually talk about and make strategies for and videos for as well. I think 7-star raids are like very big and something that I'm going to be grinding for like hours and hours on my Twitch stream and all that stuff. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, subscribe and all that, and we'll have some 7-star Charizard strats when that event goes live. Thank you for watching. Later.